It was an unthinkable loss. 4 members of a Long Island family out for ice cream on a summer night, killed by a driver on drugs. Even though evidence showed he was under the influence, prosecutors say it was difficult to charge him because of a loophole in state law. Investigator Mahsa Saeidi has been reporting on that loophole and the push to close it.
August 6, 2023. First responders are trying to save the children trapped after a crash on Sunrise Highway. NASA prosecutor Katie Zizza describes the chaotic scene. 6 in this car.
On first glance, you didn't realize that there was actually a third row to that vehicle.
Only 1 in the other car.
Where's the medic?
Zizza says evidence showed driver Michael D'Angelo was high.
All right, we're going to help you out.
There's no question to maybe the general public that somebody who's surrounded by hypodermic needles and has track marks up and down his arms, that person was using drugs. But under the current law in New York State, that's not the only question. The question is what drug?
Due to a loophole in New York law, a driver can be seriously impaired by drugs and not be charged. Here's the catch-22. Judges have ruled you must name the drug before the arrest. But to name the drug, Zizza needed to test D'Angelo's blood, something she could only do legally after the arrest. Zizza says they couldn't charge D'Angelo with drug driving, and it mattered.
Drugged driving is what elevated all of the charges.
As I arrived to claim each and every one of my family members' bodies, I had to hold my son with his neck ripped open.
Toshiba Hamilton's family out for ice cream stopped at a red light. Video shows D'Angelo's car, like a missile, Zizza says, strike them. Patrice Huntley, Jeremiah, Hannah, and later 6-year-old Chantel were killed.
They don't have another chance to breathe again. They're gone forever. I will never be okay.
Back on scene that tragic day, the clock is ticking. Zizza needs to test D'Angelo's blood before the evidence is gone forever. To get to the toxicology, the veteran prosecutor says she devised a workaround, partly due to this video that showed D'Angelo's reckless driving moments before the crash.
We're not always that fortunate to have that many witnesses or video to give us probable cause for a different crime. Once we tested the blood, we learned that there was fentanyl and cocaine in his blood.
D'Angelo pled guilty. The max he'll do with the elevated drug driving charges is 14 years.
Now imagine being a family and hearing that and starting to do the math on, okay, so is it how many years per life? Is that the value of that person's life? Of course it's not. Those are difficult conversations.
There's such a loss of life.
In October, the chair of the NTSB urged Governor Hochul to take action and close this loophole. The governor declined a request for an interview. Her office has highlighted the DMV has recently rolled out steeper penalties, increased points for drug-related convictions. Zizza says that has nothing to do with the loophole.
The problem is you can't get to the conviction.
Correct. If I'm not being arrested because law enforcement can't name the drug I'm on, then I'm never getting convicted, and then I'm never getting those points.
This week, the governor's spokesperson said, quote, public safety is Governor Hochul's top priority, which is why she's taken action to stop car thefts and crack down on ghost vehicles that break our laws.
If New York closes the loophole, do you think lives are going to be saved?
Absolutely.
Hamilton is preparing for the second Christmas without her children.
Hannah was an artist and very ahead of herself, as far as her schoolwork. My son was an entertainer. He had his own YouTube and very outgoing. I just think that legislators and especially the governor, should really try as hard as they can to work on, fixing these laws.
So under New York law, you have to name the drug and also show that it happens to be on a list created by lawmakers, a list that is often outdated. That is not the case in 46 other states. Closing the loophole simply means getting rid of that list. So it would be illegal to drive while impaired by any drug, just like you can't drive when you're drunk. It doesn't matter if you had vodka or tequila. You can't do it. You could kill people.
I'm not sure what the government's statement had anything to do with the loophole when she mentioned something about car thefts, but beyond that, if there is a fatality, Mahsa, can you then test the blood of the driver if there's a fatality involved in the accident?
You would think so, but no, you cannot until there's an arrest. And if you do go ahead and test her blood and there's not an arrest, you could lose the entire case because all the evidence you get after that point will be tossed out, the toxicology, any statements. So this is a really tough position that law enforcement is in right now.
And 3 innocent lives lost.
Yeah.
Mahsa, thank you. Mahsa is passionate about stories within our criminal justice system. If there is something that you would like her to look into, let her know by scanning the QR code there on your screen.